Hi, this is Tom Delk, chaplain at Normandy Farms Estates, just north of Philadelphia. Well, I'm getting ready to go away for a couple of days, just going back to my hometown and seeing some old friends, being with some family. Looking forward to a time of renewal. And every time I think about that, I'm just looking forward to a time of not only relaxing, but just restoring my relationship with God and just kind of getting in touch with who I am and what's been going on in my life for the last little while. And thinking about this, I ran across a story that was often told by a guy named Peter Marshall. He was chaplain of the Senate back in the 1950s. It's called The Keeper of the Spring. Again, it's a story that Marshall loved to tell. The story is a tale of a quiet forest dweller who lived high above an Austrian village along the eastern slopes of the Alps. And the old gentleman had been hired many years earlier by a young town councilman to clear away the debris from pools of water up in the mountain crevices that fed a lovely spring flowing through their town. With faithful, silent regularity, he patrolled the hills, removed the leaves and the branches, and wiped away the silt that would otherwise have choked and contaminated the fresh water below. The village soon became a popular attraction for vacationers, and graceful swans floated along the crystal clear spring, and the mill wheels of various businesses located near the water turned day and night, and farmlands were naturally irrigated, and the view from the restaurants was picturesque beyond description. Years passed, and one evening the town council met for its semi-annual meeting, and as they reviewed the budget, one of the man's eye caught the salary figure being paid to the obscure keeper of the spring. And said the keeper of the purse, "Who is this old man? Why do we keep him on year after year? No one ever sees him. For all we know, the strange ranger of the hills is doing us no good. He isn't necessary any longer." By unanimous vote, they dispensed with the old man's services. And for several weeks, nothing changed. But early autumn, the trees began to shed their leaves, and small branches snapped off and fell into the pools, hindering the rushing flow of sparkling water. One afternoon, someone noticed a slight yellowish-brown tint in the spring, and a few days later, the water was much darker. Within another week, a slimy film covered sections of the water along the banks, and a foul odor was soon detected. And the mill wheels moved more slowly. Some finally ground to a halt. Swans left, as did the tourists. And clammy fingers of disease and sickness reached deeply into the village. Quickly, the embarrassed council called a special meeting, and realizing their gross error in judgment, they rehired the old keeper of the spring, and in a few weeks, the veritable river of life began to clear up. The wheels started to turn, and new life returned to this hamlet in the Alps. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life." Take care of your heart. Tend to the spring, the source of your life. Tend to it. You'll be glad you did. Have a great day.